I think there's two ways. In all this time that I've been in Afro-Caribbean music markets, I've seen a lot of artists do the same mistake. And it's the mistake that, okay, let's take it this way. Look at Apple and look at Samsung, Sony, and all the Android handset makers. Apple has one operating system, which is iOS, and they only use this system in their phones, the iPhones, and the iPads. Samsung, Sony, Huawei, and all the other brands that you can think of, they all use the other system, which is Android. And they are winning in market share, meaning that if you look at the volume of numbers of how many iPhones are sold, you will realize that maybe in the world they're selling like 3 to 5% of the smartphones. Android, on the contrary, so all the others are selling more than 90% of all the phones. So of course everybody will talk to you about the market share because it does the headlines. But now if you look at it in terms of profit, it's a completely different story. The iPhone makes, I think, 97% of the profits of all the smartphones combined. And everybody else, I think Samsung gets like everything that's left, like 3% in terms of profit, which means the money made. And everybody else, they don't make money. They just here competing on the market and they don't get shit. Why? It's very simple. Fuck Apple, because they work in a closed circuit and they are like in the forefront of their own business and they have their own users. They can actually cater to the people who like the Apple ecosystem, and these people are willing to pay the premium. We are willing to pay the iPhone more money. On the Android market, there's so many people selling the same phone more or less, which are, smartphone with a screen. All these phones do the same stuff because Sony, Huawei, Samsung, LG, HTC, BlackBerry now, Microsoft now, but all these people, because they are competing on the same phone, they are selling exactly the same phone. The only place where they can compete is the price, because they all use the Snapdragon chip in the core. They all use the same screens. They all use the same cameras. They can only compete on features and price. So the price goes down because everybody's doing the same stuff. And in terms of Apple, they don't need to compete with these guys because as long as they sell 100 million smartphones per year, they make billions. And of course, you're going to see in the news, Samsung is selling a lot of phones. Yes, but do they make a lot of money from these phones? Yes, of course, but they make only 3% of the profit because they sell a lot of phones for cheap. And Apple, on the contrary, they don't have this problem because they go to a place where they are alone in the market. So why am I talking about this and what does it have to do with music and arts? Well, it's simple. Back in the days, when I really started performing, I used to go a lot to the West Indies, Martinique, Guadeloupe, to do a lot of shows. But at a point, everybody started doing the same stuff in the Zouk market. Everybody was doing the same song over and over and over again, and everybody wanted only to perform in the West Indies. Everybody was obsessed, like, oh, I'm going to perform in the West Indies in the summer, then I will go in France and then do all the clubs in the year, and then I will do this again the next summer and then go back in France again, and then when people are tired of me, I put out a new album and I go back again. But you can't sustain this forever. What I did was go the iPhone way. When everybody was trying to perform, once I did like years and years, like I'm talking about like 5, 6, 7 years of shows in the West Indies and France, I opened new markets. I went to Portugal when there was nobody performing there. I went to Portugal, I went to Switzerland, I went to the US, and I did years and years and years of shows. So what happened? When I was alone in Angola, Portugal, Mozambique, São Tomé, Guinea-Bissau, all these places, when I was there alone and I could have people pay me a high price to perform because it was only like 2, 3, 4 of us going there, all the motherfuckers were competing in the West Indies and they had to lower and lower and lower and lower their cachet because it was too many people. So at a point, around 2008, you had a lot of Zouk artists. They were happy because they were going to the West Indies 10 times a year. And I was like, yeah, me, I'm there all the time. Ha ha ha. I'm conquering the market. The market is mine. Yeah, motherfucker, you're getting paid like 100 euros to do a show. What's the point? But that's the thing. It's really a point of view. You have people that they want to lead the market share and they don't care if they make money or not because they are about the ego. And you have other people that they don't care about the headlines and stuff. They understand how the business works and they prefer pushing the limit forward, pushing the music forward, going different, not always doing the same stuff and just reinventing themselves and never staying in a comfort zone so that they can reach new markets. And by 2009, I think, I just abandoned that market because there was too many people. And all these people that I'm talking about, they're still there performing in the West Indies. And I don't have nothing against performing in the West Indies. I love to go there. If you don't want to pay me my price to go there, I just can go on a holiday and do a few interviews. And I prefer even doing a show for free in a club of a friend, right? And then go make my money in places where people don't know me. By the time the Portuguese market became huge and crowded and actually is becoming saturated, I live in Portugal now, but I don't perform there because I already performed 100 times there. And now I'm looking at other places, you know, places, East Africa, never been there. China, 1 billion people. India, 1.5 billion people. That's places where if you just get 1% of the market of 1 billion people, and if you just have 1% of the market in China and 1% of the market in India, and then you can sell music there, all of a sudden, you're alone in a place where you're going to make a ton of money, while everybody else is going to be fighting in places where there's no money to make because there's too much people and the money is divided between too many people. And that's how you make the difference between the artists who stay in their comfort zone, they are just trying to keep what they have, and those who accept that you cannot stay in a place all the time. You have to conquer and conquer again and reinvent yourself again and move on and on and on. That's all I had. I think I woke up way too early. So, Ages of Shields and me in there. At least till 1 p.m. What the fuck? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Voici la pédicure des stars, la manicure des stars. Eric, the one and only. Et voici. Mais c'est une grande publicité.
La publicité.
C'est ça. Et voici. Le pied des stars. Je mets, je peux? Ou je dois attendre que tu...
C'est encore froid. Mais non, c'est chaud.
Oh non, c'est bien chaud. Ouh. Oh yeah. Now, good thing now you can download your shows on Netflix. So even with this shitty internet, I download like 3 entire seasons of shows that I want to see. There they are. What am I gonna check? House of Cards or Agile?